Terrible show tonight. Terrible show. I'm the Godfather Soldier Slim. My topic tonight is called arrogant and absolutely awful. Absolutely awful in Atlanta. That's my topic tonight. Before I do an open up show with a little bit of something, I'm gonna open a show with a little Christmas jingle. Um, since the holiday, since Christmas is already here, I'm gonna open up a show with this song called "Happy Holidays" by the "Happy Holidays to You" by the Whispers. So stick around, right back. Number one, a little '70s Christmas song called by the Whispers called "Happy Holidays." Yeah, "Happy Holidays to You" by the Whispers from their 1979. Right back. Yep. Happy Holidays by the Whispers, 1979. Okay, let's get down with tonight's show. Oh, got some news for all of you. Um, AAA on Fox Mexico. Yeah, AAA on Fox Mexico. Yeah, it's starting January 17, 2026, 8 p.m. local time. They have a right. They have a WWE announced the rights media deal with Fox Mexico to air AAA for Mexico, January 17th of next year, 2026 at 8 p.m. local time. Same time as SmackDown. And Stephen Borden, um, yeah, wait, never mind. Let's get to tonight's show. Commentary welcomes us to the show and runs down the lineup for tonight. Before we head to ringside, we kick off the action with the finals of the tournament to crown our inaugural Women's World Tag Team Champions. As the Timeless Love Bombs make their entrance to a big pop from the crowd. Out next are the Babes of Wrath, also getting a nice crowd as they head to the ring to get this match underway. AEW Women's World Tag Team Championship Tournament Final. Babes of Wrath, Will Nightingale and Harley Cameron versus Timeless Love Bombs, Toni Storm and Mina Shirakawa. We start off with Mina and Harley circling the canvas before locking up. The crowd chanting AEW as the pair exchanges holds. Mina dodges a running lariat with a shimmy, but Cameron grabs her with a side headlock. Shirakawa breaks free only for Harley to take her back down. Cameron hits the ropes now, landing a sling blade on Mina before tackling in Willow Nightingale. Tag made to Toni Storm as well, the crowd chanting for both women as they go at it. Exchange of strikes ends with Harley trying to break things up. Chaos ensues as all four women go at it. This comes to an end with Timeless Love Bombs being sent to the outside before Cameron grabs them to set up a senton bomb by Nightingale. Tag made back in the ring. Back in the ring as Cameron takes Storm down for a 2 count. She sends Storm to the ropes, but Toni stops her in her tracks before tagging in Mina. Mina lands a suplex and a quick tag back to Storm, who follows suit before tagging in Mina, helping her to get to the drop on Cameron for a near fall. Harley breaks free of a waist lock, landing a back suplex before making the tag back to Willow. Willow goes to work on both Storm and Mina with chops hitting the ropes for a lariat before sending Storm to the outside with a pounce as we go to an ad break. Full ad break on HBO Max. Back from break, Harley gets away from Mina for a tag to Nightingale. On for Mina to land on a DDT off the ropes. Tag made to Storm and Cameron. The two going at it until Toni takes control for a tag back to Mina. She goes for a figure 4 on Cameron, taking and approaching Willow down the DDT before going back for a leg lock on Harley. Cameron reverses the pressure before Storm comes in to turn that back around, leading to Willow getting involved and is getting Storm in an Indian deathlock. Strikes are exchanged in the midst of 2 submission holds here. All 4 women end up down on the mat. Mina is the first one up, going after Cameron for a 2 count before Harley manages to kick out. Toni and Willow take their fight to the outside where Storm gets laid out as Mina and Harley go back at it in the ring. Rolling in the elbow by Mina, landing a roundhouse kick to back fist to take Cameron to the canvas. Harley fights back to her feet, taking Mina out with her finishing move before tagging in Willow, who lands the Babe with a powerbomb for the win. Winners via pinfall and the first ever AEW Women's Tag Team Champions, Babes of Wrath, Willow Nightingale and Harley Cameron. Renee interviews the inaugural champions post-match. Willow talks about being proud of Harley and how much she's been able to trust Harley. Cameron talks about facing Willow in their second ever match and how it feels standing with her as champions. Who are they? Babes. What do they have? Wrath. They start with a Babes of Wrath chant as Pyro goes off. As the timeless love bombs enter the ring, they to eventually shake hands with the champs with a show of sportsmanship. Babes of Wrath continue to celebrate as Storm and Mina head up the ramp. Backstage, Samoa Joe talks about Eddie Kingston's time's coming tonight. The challenger runs down before poisoning to beat him with the title on the line, calling himself the man who will show Eddie the reality of what his industry is. Commercial break. Backstage, we hear from John Maxley as he talks about running out in Continental Classic. If there is one grain of sand left, it is time for Mox to score, even as people try to count him out. He talks about the principles of the Dolph referees believe in. Garcia interjects to talk about this further, alluding to his chase for the TNT title before we cut away. Back at ringside, Jungle Jack Perry makes his way out as he replaces Darby Allin in the Continental Classic in our next match. We see him throwing his jacket at Don Callis sitting at the announce table as Kazuchika Okada makes his entrance next to get this match underway. Perry charges at the Rainmaker, sending him into the corner before the ref intervenes. Kyle starts to fight back, only to be sent to the outside with a head scissors before Perry takes him out with a dive. He brings out the champ to his feet before sending him into the barricade, but Okada fights back by sending the former Jungle Boy into the barricade as well. He goes after Perry, who takes the Rainmaker down before bringing him back in the ring for a near fall. Perry goes up top, landing an elbow drop on Okada to keep him down for a 2 count. He then brings the champ back to the corner for some mounted punches until Okada breaks free, sending Perry to the floor outside. Okada leaves the ring, sending Perry over the barricade to keep him at bay. Perry gets back to his feet, starting to climb over the barricade to return to ringside until Okada lands the DDT, sending him to the floor yet again as we go to an ad break. Full ad break on HBO Max. Back from break, both men have returned to the ring, fighting it out until Okada knocks Perry down. Jack fights back until Okada drops him, once again egging him on for a free shot. Perry lands some forearm strikes for the Rainmaker to send him toward the ropes, which leads to Perry taking him down with a clothesline instead. Perry recovers in the corner as Okada gets back to his feet, and the former AEW TNT champion evades Okada to take him down with a German suplex. He makes the cover, but Okada kicks out at 2 to save the match for himself. Okada gets to his feet, climbing the turnbuckle for an elbow drop before flipping the crowd off. He sets Perry up for a Rainmaker lariat, but Perry dodges it to get to the ropes, walking right into a drop kick as 10 minutes remain in the time limit. Perry recovers enough to head to the corner for a running knee strike, but it's only good for a 2 count as Okada gets his shoulder up. Perry sets up the champ for a snare trap, but Okada bites his hand to force him to let go. Okada goes for a tombstone, but Perry bites him in the old down blow to break free. He drops Okada for a near fall for setting up the snare trap once more. Okada manages to break free as he leaves the ring. Woo! Going for his chair before Perry leaves the ring to grab the hold of the champ. He brings Okada back in the ring, but Okada breaks free to land a Rainmaker lariat. He goes for it, looks for a second one, but Perry heads to the ropes to stop it and stops Okada from landing a drop kick as well. Perry sets up another running knee, but Okada drops him, setting up for a Rainmaker lariat to pick up the win. Winner via pinfall, Kazuchika Okada. 6 points. Don Cal grabs the microphone as well as the rest of the family heads to the ring to celebrate. Cal shows a bit of respect for Perry, saying that one of the hardest matches Okada has had in a while. He then tries to offer Jack a spot in Don Cal's family, as well as a signing bonus using the money as Young Bucks won at Full Gear. Perry his takes respond, which makes Callis wonder what Jack is waiting for. He threatens Perry. He said he should not to respond, handing Jack the microphone. Perry looks at the family, saying it looks like second time tonight. It looks like he might be more off than he can chew, slamming the mic against Josh Alexander as he tries to fight the family on his own. They quickly overpower him until Luchasaurus makes his way out to a big pop, and he's not alone. As the Young Bucks even the numbers out with a pair of chairs, they land on a BTE trigger on Okada, who gets pulled out of the ring before the family threatens retreats to the ramp. Backstage, the Razor Ref challenge. Backstage, the Razor Ref celebrate with a counter exclamation and Mascara Dorada before timeless love bombs embrace the chance once more. VO package Mercedes Moné seems to be on a downward spiral after losing at Full Gear with even 13 others titles to her name. Commercial break. Backstage, we hear from Eddie Kingston as he gears up for his world title match later tonight. He acknowledges being the 50th anniversary of Terry Funk's first world title. Hope he can make Terry proud before stopping himself before getting too emotional as he addresses Joe ahead of the bout. From there, we head to the back as ringside as Tony Schiavone introduces the new AEW TNT champion to the ring. Mark Briscoe as he comes out to a nice pop from the crowd as we are reminded of the early start time for Winter is Coming Collision, which will see Briscoe defend the TNT title against Daniel Garcia. Briscoe says hello to the crowd before addressing the match at hand, respectfully giving a message to his haters that they can kiss his big white ass. This fires a big white ass chat from the crowd as Briscoe talks about defending his title in Cardiff, Wales, in UK. The champ is interrupted by Wheeler Yuta as Garcia and Shafir head to the ring through the crowd. Yuta runs down Briscoe as the crowd lets Wheeler know how they feel about him. Garcia, amigo. Garcia says he can say some mean, hurtful things about Briscoe, and he looks at the champ and just feels sad. When he wins on Saturday, Garcia will become a two-time AEW TNT champion, and Mark will have to figure out how to provide his family with a broken leg. Briscoe tells him that he might be fighting on TNT this Saturday, but we're on TBS tonight, and he hate to drive these fans to an ass whooping that when is right for the picking. Garcia is feeling brave, and he should have make his move. Garcia responds by slapping the mic out of Briscoe's hand, but the writers keep him away before we see anything further. Backstage, the Triangle of Madness is wreaking havoc until Statlander intervenes with a steel chair, running them off as Dynamite rolls on. We return to the ringside as Kazuyori Shibata and Powerhouse Hobbs make their way down for our next match, accompanied by the Ops of Dojo, Hangman Page, and Swerve Strickland make their way through the crowd, but Ops send the students to intercept them, leading to the brawl on the other side of the venue. Tornado tag match: Hangman Page and Swerve Strickland versus Kazuyori Shibata and the Powerhouse Hobbs. For the sake of the bell is not rung yet. The fight leads to a split screen as we see Hobbs fending off Page at the bar while Shibata fights off Strickland at a concession stand. Page fights back, asking for a beer, while Shibata sets up Swerve on a chair for a running kick, only to fake Strickland out for a pump kick, sending him to the floor as the fight continues as we go to an ad break. Back from break, the fight has already returned to the outside, to the ringside. Shibata cuts Strickland out at the guardrail for the PK. Page enters the ring with chairs. As the bell finally rings, the ref takes away the chairs. DQs are still in play. In the confusion, Hobbs gets an opening for a spear. Shibata comes into an aid in a beatdown on the Hangman. Double suplex, keeping the former champ down. Shibata sets Page up in the corner, throwing him into a kick by Hobbs before they continue the attack. Shibata was suplex followed by a powerhouse slam by the Powerhouse. Shibata lands on a PK before mocking the crowd. Hobbs heads to ropes before looking for a boxer lariat until Nana hops on the apron to stop him. This allows Swerve to get on as well. Dive by Page, and Hobbs sends the Ops to the floor. Swerve brings Shibata back in the ring, sending him down before getting a drop on the wrestler. He heads to the corner, but Hobbs pulls him out of the ring as Page lands on a boot on Shibata from the apron. The buckshot lariat is avoided with the ref's back turn. Shibata lands on a low blow before going for an armbar on the Hangman, only for Strickland to break the hold with a Swerve stomp. All three men are down until Hobbs comes in, only for Swerve to fend him off before Page sends him to the corner. Strickland lands on a four-foot splash on Shibata before Page sends the Powerhouse toward him for a double knees to the face. The former rivals stare at each other down until Hobbs gets back on the apron, and the pair send him crashing through the table that was a setup earlier at ringside. Back in the ring, Page lands on a buckshot lariat to pick up the win. Winners via pinfall, Hangman Page and Swerve Strickland. Josh Alexander watches from backstage ahead of this match against Strickland at Collision. Swerve and Hangman celebrate as we cut away. Backstage, Don Callis tells the Young Bucks that the money that they retrieve is still his, and they will rather get his pound of flesh to take the pair to court over it. As such, as he issues a challenge for the three of his guys to face the Young Bucks in a partner they're choosing next week in Manchester, England, with the $1 billion on the line. And we'll go to commercial break. We head to backstage once again as Big Stoke talks about the Big Bang Gang. He says the world's most dangerous neurotic is not on the street. It's this camera, as people on here as they believe they deserve TV time or to win a championship. Next week in Manchester, England, the BBC will get their title shot at World Tag Team Championship, and FTR will kill them of their addiction. When they head to the airport, the challengers won't be able to declare the titles, but they will be able to declare that they are heading back of the line. Top guys out. Head back to ringside as Mike Bailey makes his entrance for our next match. He enters the ring as Kyle Fletcher makes his way out next, and we get this match underway. Continental Classic League Gold match. Kyle Fletcher 6 points versus Speedball Mike Zip. Slow start as two stare each other down. Finally locking up before Kyle takes Bailey to the ropes. Mike dodges a stomp, but Fletcher is able to evade their kick out right after. This leads to a standstill as both men are back to their feet. The pair exchange until Bailey takes Fletcher to the mat for a near fall. Kyle fights back to his feet as he's sent back to the ring down for two before Kyle breaks free to get a breather on the outside. He finally returns to take the ring for taking control of the situation for mocking the crowd as he stomps away at Bailey to get struggles to get back to his feet. He dodges an attack by Kyle to take him to the canvas with his head scissors, doing it again from the apron to send him to the floor. Fletcher back in the ring, he catches Bailey in midair before slamming him into the mat. Bailey slips free from a scoop slam, heading to the corner to get the drop on Kyle before landing a spinning kick. Fletcher drops to the canvas but dodges a shooting star press. Bailey breaks away from the brainbuster attempt, forcing Kyle to the outside before hitting a tornado that sends Fletcher to the floor. It brings Fletcher back in the ring, but Kyle gets out of harm's way as he leaves the ring again. This leads to Speedball chasing him down, only to be taken out with a thrust kick. Bailey fights back again, setting Fletcher up on the barricade, but Kyle grabs the ankle before setting him up for a slam onto barricade. Speedball looks worse for wear, and Fletcher is in control, so we head to an ad break. Full HBO break on HBO Max. Back from the break, we get a 10-minute warning as both men return to the apron to fight out. Kyle with a thrust kick, but Bailey stops a half and half suplex before landing a backflip knee drop, driving Fletcher into the hardest part of the ring. Kyle is still on the apron as Bailey rolls back in the ring. Fletcher makes it to his feet in the corner, only to take a kick to the face by Speedball. Kyle is on the second rope, and Bailey shows that why that's the most dangerous rope when he takes Fletcher to the mat, where Hurricane before climbing up top for a shooting star press. As he crashes right into the foot of Fletcher, Kyle sends him into the turnbuckle for landing a Liger bomb, but that only gets a 2 count, and Fletcher collapses when he gets back into his feet. Kyle presses on when he recovers, stopping Speedball as he gets back to his feet, as he lands a chop on Bailey, who responds with a chop of his own. The two exchange strikes until Bailey lands on a roundhouse kick on Fletcher, countering a running kick by Fletcher for a power slam and a near fall. The two continue fighting as we hear from the 5-minute warning, and Bailey hits a Hurricane for a near fall. Another backflip knee drop gets yet another 2 count, and even another roundhouse kick yields as the same result. He takes the former TNT champion out with a big kick and cover, but Fletcher nearly kicks out to save the match for himself. Bailey heads to the corner but runs into a thrust kick by Fletcher, who takes a couple of kicks from Speedball in return. He sets up in the corner. It's a ultimate weapon from Brett's rope for a 2 count. Fletcher rolls out of the ring as Bailey gets to his feet. He dodges it, gets the apron looking for another ultimate weapon, but Fletcher dodges it, slamming into the apron before bringing him back into for a running kick in the corner. Sheer drop brainbuster connects with it, and Fletcher recovers only for Speedball to barely get his shoulder up. Fletcher is shocked by this as the fight heads to the corner, exchanging near falls as we get a 1-minute warning, just in time for Bailey to roll Fletcher right up tight for the win. Winner via pinfall, Speedball Mike Bailey, 3 points. Bailey is barely able to celebrate, choosing instead to roll out of the ring to recover as Kevin Knight comes down to check on his jet speed tag partner. The pair celebrate Mike's big win as we cut away. Backstage, we hear from Adam Page, who tells Samoa Joe that he's keeping an eye on the world title match while issuing a warning that he's coming for Joe, and regardless of who leaves with the title tonight, he's coming for his world championship. We head backstage once again as the Young Bucks accept the challenge for next week. They ask Luchasaurus, but he grants, shaking his head before pointing to the locker room of Kenny Omega. Kenny opens the door as the Young Bucks ask him to be their partner and offer him the share of the money. Kenny is interested in money, but he'll help them beat the Callis family for free. He bids us adieu and all that good stuff before saying night, mwah, and goodbye, bang. With all that, Dynamite moves on. Backstage, there's been enough talk. It's time for our main event. Eddie Kingston heads to the ring first to a big pop from the crowd, followed by Samoa Joe as we get this AEW World Tag Team Championship match underway. AEW World Championship match, Samoa Joe defends against Eddie Kingston. Both men for the advantage before locking up with Eddie Kingston taking the champ to the corner before the ref intervenes. Joe goes for a lockup with a challenger once again as we see Hook lingering around at the ringside, only to be ejected by the ref. Side headlock by Eddie back in the ring, but Joe stops the momentum by getting to one knee. He steps back up for a backdrop suplex, sending Kingston to the canvas for landing on some hard punches on the challenger. Eddie heads to the corner to recover, trying to fight back before the champ lands on some more shots. Kingston manages to send Joe to the mat with what appears to be a cutter, starting to get his groove back as we go to an ad break. Full ad break on HBO Max. Back from break, the two-man Trey strikes in the middle of the ring until Kingston sends the champ to the mat. Joe rolls toward the ropes, but the challenger stays on the attack. Joe gets back to his feet, but Eddie fires up with a series of strikes, forcing the champ to the mat as the crowd chant the challenger's name. Joe comes to a halt, and when Joe fights back, sending Kingston to the corner. He lays into the challenger for some more, but driving a big boot into Eddie's throat before hitting the ropes. For a running boot, Eddie pops himself up to the recover, but Joe keeps him around until the challenger gets back to his feet. Joe catches him with a shot, sending Kingston to the canvas once more. Eddie's back on his feet on the two Trey strikes again, landing on a pair of lariats from the challenger, only for Joe to catch Eddie for a power slam off the ropes for a near fall. Joe brings Kingston back to his feet for some knees to the head, prompting Eddie to fire back with some chops until Joe drives him back to the mat. Joe hits the ropes but runs into an explosive suplex that gets the challenger a close 2 count. Eddie gets to his feet as the crowd chants his name, but Joe fights back for a fireman carrot slam. He locks in the STF, but Eddie frees himself by biting the hand of the champ and lands on a DDT, sending Joe to the canvas. The champ rolls out of the ring to avoid being pinned, and Kingston follows him out. He brings Joe back into the ring, setting him up for a hurricane, but Joe blocks it in hitting the ropes, only to be running into a stunner by the challenger. He looks for another hurricane, but Joe traps him with a coquina clutch, and Eddie is about to fade away entirely before he taps out, the ref calling for the bell as this match is over. Winner via submission and still AEW World Champion Samoa Joe. He takes the title and celebrates by heading to the ramp as we see Eddie recovering in the ring and looking distraught about losing what he thinks may be his last shot at the world title as Dynamite comes to a close. Bad show tonight, man. Bad show. Bad show tonight. This is just terrible. Yep, terrible. The start of this holiday season. Now you know. Now okay. Now I got it covered. Now I know it's time for my pop culture history, wrestling history, birthdays, and all that stuff. Let's go to yesterday, December the 9th. Okay. Yesterday was a happy 80th. Was a happy uh he turned. See. Yesterday was a happy 80th birthday to Don Taylor, but is known renamed Tugboat Taylor from GWF, which stands for Global Wrestling Federation. Kurt Angle, he turns. Kurt Angle, he turns. WWE Hall of Fame Kurt Angle, he turns. '57 yesterday. He turned 57 yesterday. Yeah, 57 years old yesterday. He turns 57 years old yesterday. Kurt Angle. Okay, Doug Furnace. He turns. Doug Furnace. Wait, no, that's sorry about that. Wrong birthday. Kathy Dingman, better known as her name BB from WWE, was when WWE what was it called, World Wrestling Federation. She had that nurse gimmick. Kathy Dingman. Barbara Bush. She turns 55 yesterday. And Dick Butkus, football player. And Dick Butkus turns turns 83. He turned 83 yesterday. He was 83 years old. He died on October 5th, 2020. Dick Puckett, he been 83 yesterday. Former football player. He made some wrestling appearance on WrestleMania, at WrestleMania event. Yeah, let's see. Yeah, WrestleMania 2, 1986, Battle Royal, as a special guest for the NFL versus WWE Battle Royal in Chicago, Illinois. Other football figures like Ed Too Tall Jones, William Refrigerator Perry. Mr. Ito turns 77 yesterday. Japanese wrestler. And let's see, pop culture now. 1965, one of the greatest holiday TV specials premiered on CBS. A Charlie Brown Christmas. It was December 9th, 1965. And some see some other stuff on the wrestling. See. On WCW Pro, Carazaro with Colonel Tom Parker defeated Johnny Allen Smith via submission. Paul Orndorff pins Gino Caruso after a power drive. VK Wall Street defeated Eddie Gomez. Yeah, this was a it was a dark matches. An opening contest, Mr. Saito with Sonny Ono beats Buddy Valentine via submission to an ankle lock. Kurt Angle's move. Which it was his birthday yesterday. Best thing I did is homage to Kurt Angle. Lex Luger, Jimmy Hart. Lex Luger with Jimmy Hart defeated Chuck Williams via submission into a torture tag at 4:15. DDP defeated Quinn Nash after a diamond cutter. Hacksaw Jim Gunn beats Disco Inferno after a 3-point stance clothesline. United States Championship match, Kenzuki Sasaki, U.S. Champion, with Sonny Ono defeated Joey Mags via submission to a stranglehold Beta. WCW Tag Team Champions final, he defeated Laura Steven Regal and Bobby Eaton at 3:22 when Booker T pinned Eaton after Stevie Ray hit a big boot to the face and beat Eaton behind the referee's back as Eaton and Booker recovered. During the back, Colonel Rob Parker appeared at ringside and took a call from someone he referred to as Twinkle Eyes. Then on WWF Superstars. Right now. So. WWF Superstars opening contest. Diesel defeated Brad Radford for Jackknife. The British Bulldog with Jim Cornette beats Al Phillips after running Power Slam at 241. And this is leading up to In Your House season's beatings. Yokozuna with Jim Cornette and Mr. Fuji with Jim Cornette, Mr. Fuji and Owen Hart defeated John Crystal after the Banzai drop in 57 seconds. Dean Douglas defeated Tony Williams after a final exam. Bob Backlund versus Savio Vega after a double countout at 5:51 and 51. Let's see. On see what else on WCW Saturday night. Opening contest: the Rude Bloods defeat Buck Quartermain, Butch Long. When Lord Steven Regal makes Long submit to a Regal stretch. The TV champ match: Johnny B. Bad, champion with Diamond Dollar, defeats Disco Inferno after Tutti Frutti. Chris Benoit and Brian Pillman beat Dino Casanova and Frankie Lancaster when Benoit pins Casanova a dropkick Dragon Suplex after combination. Hugh Morris with a one-man gang defeats Mark Thorne after a no laughing matter. The Super Assassins wrestle the Nasty Boys to a double countout. Eddie Guerrero beats Big Bobby Rogers via DQ when Rogers throws Eddie Guerrero over the top rope at 13:36 is shown. Then a little pay-per-view took place. December to Remember in ECW Arena in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. The Dudley Boys, Bubba Ray Dudley, and Dancing with Dudleys with Big Dick Dudley, Chubby Dudley, and Sign Guy Dudley defeated the Bad Crew, Dog and Rose with Damon King and Lady Alexandria in a tag team match. Taz with Bill Alfonso defeated El Porto Riqueno by submission. Hack Myers defeated the Bruiser Mastino by pinfall. The Eliminated Saturn and Kronos defeated the Pit Bulls. Raven and Bill McCullough defeated Tommy Dreamer by technical knockout. JT defeated Tony Stetson by pinfall. The Sandman with the Woman defeated Mikey Whitrock and Steve Austin by pinfall. Yeah, this was I think this was Stone Cold's last he didn't get a strong push here in ECW. He make his WWE debut on December 18th, 1995. December 18th, 1995, he make his WWE debut on December 18th, 1995 as the Ringmaster. Yeah, on Monday Night Raw. He's got a strong push would become later Stone Cold Steve Austin. He was known he was superstar Steve Austin here in ECW. The Public Enemy, Johnny Grunge, and Rocco Rock defeated Heavenly Bottles. Jimmy Del Rey and Tom Pritchard. Jimmy Del Rey and Tom Pritchard, and the match was a three-way dance for the ECW World Heavyweight Championship. Tommy Dreamer and the Public Enemy, Johnny Grunge, Rocco, and the Pitbulls. Pitbull number 1, Pitbull 2 defeated Raven and Heavenly Bottles. Jimmy Del Rey and Tom Pritchard eliminators Saturn and Kronos and Steve Richards by pinfall. Ultimate Double Jeopardy Steel Cage match. Then on Sunday night, and then on Sunday Night Heat, Heat. Trevor Murdoch defeated Scotty Sabre. Gregory Helms defeated Brad Allen. Val Venus defeated Rob Conway. Let's see let's see 2005 to that and on Friday Night SmackDown, heading up to Armageddon 2005. Randy Orton is the Undertaker plays Mind Games with Randy Orton, leading up to the match before Unforgiven. Rey Mysterio defeated JBL with Jillian Hall via DQ. Super Crazy with Juventud and Psychosis defeated Mercury, leading to Nitro. The Boogeyman defeated Ray Gordy. Booker T with Shamel defeated Chris Benoit, Rita Zip. In a U.S. Championship Best of 7 Series number 3 match, Bobby Lashley defeated William Regal and Paul Burchill. Batista and Rey Mysterio defeated JBL and Atlanta Jordan with Jillian Hall. And 2015, and pop culture, a couple of movies released on the same day. See, hold on, wait, let's see, I'm trying to see any sports. On ABC's Monday Night Football, the LA Lambs defeated the San Francisco 49ers 27-20. Okay, a couple movies released in theaters December the 9th. Brokeback Mountain was released in theaters starring Heath Ledger, God Rest His Soul, Jake Gyllenhaal, Anne Hathaway, and Michelle Williams. Supporting cast in this movie called Anna Faris, Linda Carlina, Randy Quaid, Kate Mara. It's a really good movie. Lost one Academy Award nomination. Yeah, it's like a LGBT movie about two gay cowboys. Syriana was released in theaters on the same day starring George Clooney, Matt Damon, Jeffrey Wright, Chris Cooper, William Hurt, Tim Blake, Nelson Mann, and Pete Christopher Plummer. Really good movie. And It's a really good movie. Syriana. Um, um, it's nominated for Best Picture and won many Academy Awards. It's a real good movie. And another movie was released in theaters called Chronicles of Narnia and the Lion, Witch, and Wardrobe. Disney movie. And some wrestling history for December the 9th. December the 9th, a movie called on see Impact Wrestling. On Impact Wrestling December 9, 2015, Lashley defeated Mahal Shera in the TNA World Heavyweight Title Series quarterfinal match. Eric Young defeated Tigre Uno in TNA World Heavyweight Title Series quarterfinal match. Matt Hardy defeated Jesse Garza in TNA World Heavyweight Title Series quarterfinal match. Ethan Carter III with Tyrus defeated David Richards in TNA World Heavyweight Title Series quarterfinal match. Then on December the 9th, on NXT 2015, he was on the road to NXT TakeOver London. Enzo Amore and Colin Cassidy with Carmelo defeated Corey Hollis and John Skyler. Asuka defeated Deonna Purrazzo by knockout. The Hype Brothers, Zack Ryder and Mojo Rawley defeated Blake and Murphy with Alexa Bliss. Bayley defeated Peyton Royce, and Samoa Joe and Barry Corbin defeated Finn Balor and Apollo Crews by submission. And now it's time to go to December the 10th. Today, It's a happy 30th birthday to wrestlers Saddam Singh, Indian wrestler, and JTG, better known as ring by the Crash Money by the brothers, by of the JTG. Crime Time. JTG, of Crime Time, he turns 41 today. And rest in peace to his former tag team partner. Shad Gaspar, God rest his soul. Very sad passing. He died. He died on May 17, 2020. He received the Warrior Award at WWE Hall of Fame ceremony 2022. And on WCW main event on this day, 1995. Yeah, I think let's see the sorry about that. Yeah, Dirty Dick Slater, Monkey spoken. Dirty Dick Slater defeated Man at Work. Defeated Man at Work. And see what else. Let's see what else. 2005 on WWE Velocity. The Dicks, Chad and James defeated Funaki and Sky Too Hottie. Simon Dean defeated Caprice Coleman. Ryan Kendrick and Paul London defeated Nunzio and Vito. And Matt Hardy defeated Sylvan. Then on Friday Night SmackDown on this day, oh, and by the way, we lost a little passing on this day in 2005. On this day, December 10th, 2005, we lost legendary comedian, the remarkable Richard Pryor, who died of a third and final heart attack. He was one of my favorites. I love Richard Pryor. Miss him. And Roman Reigns and Dean Ambrose and the Usos versus on Friday Night SmackDown, leading up just nights before TLC 2015. Roman Reigns with Dean Ambrose and the Usos versus Alberto Rio with Sheamus, Rusev, and King Barrett in a no contest. Dolph Ziggler defeated Tyler Breeze with Summer Rae. Lucha Dragons, Kalisto and Sin Cara defeated New Day, and Xavier Woods and Kofi Kingston with Big E. Ryback defeated Victor with Connor. Becky Lynch, the man who Becky Lynch defeated Paige by submission. Roman Reigns defeated Dean Ambrose, and the Usos defeated Sheamus, Rusev, and Alberto Del Rio and King Barrett. And that's it. And that'll do it for my review for everything I got covered. So it's now time for me to close out a little bit of music. Before I do, hold on. The Godfather Soldier Slim is late Chad Henshaw say like to dress like Chub Checker, sing like Lionel Richie, dance like James Brown, like to get in a hot tub, gonna make me sweat, gonna make me dry, gonna make me wet. Referring to Eddie Murphy doing an impression of James Brown on Saturday Night Live. I never grew up in A's, I grew up in the 90s, but I seen reruns of old school Saturday Night Live when I was little. On Comedy Central. So I hope all of you good night. Now I'm going to close out something for all of you. For those of you who know that today's the 10th anniversary, the 20th anniversary of passing of one of the best, funniest African American people of all time, stand-up comedian, the remarkable Richard Pryor, who died of a third and final heart attack that I mentioned at his house in Los Angeles, California. I miss him. He was my favorite. So I'm going to close out with some of his greatest stand-up routines. Some of from the past. So I hope all of you good night, and close out close out with some of the greatest Richard Pryor's greatest stand-up clips from past and present from the past, in honor of in a tribute to his passing that we lost on this day. He died at the age of 65 on this day. This is for him. I miss him.
White people, this is fun part for me. When white people come back after the intermission and find out niggas who stole their seats. Weren't we sitting here, dear? Weren't we? We were sitting here.
Yes, we were sitting right here.
Well, you ain't sitting here now, motherfucker. Some places they got them dogies, those pictures, then some bad motherfuckers. They bad, too. They catch the average white boy. By the time they catch a nigga, though, they're too tired to do anything. Right? Maybe get petted or some shit like that. You try to run him over. Sit your ass right there, man. Won't get on. You all right? I saw him let one loose on a young brother about 16 in the alley. Police jumped out the car and sicked the Roman loose on him. Brother was low running. He was down in here. And the dog was on his ass. And it must have got good to the brother because he shifted into overdrive on the dog. Yeah, the brother had a cap on. He just went. And it looked like to me like the dog said, shit. Motherfuck that nigga, man. Shit, he gonna kill me out here. Shit. Give me a biscuit, shit. I think the only brave thing I might have ever done in my life was once I worked at a mafia nightclub out in Youngstown, Ohio. I was 19. I was 19 years old, right? And I didn't know shit about the mafia. My father was the baddest motherfucker I'd ever seen. So the mafia didn't mean shit to me. I did not relate to the mafia. Right? And I worked with this lady, Satin Doll. She was the star of the show. Beautiful black stripper, right? Because usually in those days, they had like in clubs that a singer, and a stripper, and an MC. I was the MC. And she was the first black star I ever met. Satin Doll. because Duke Ellington had written a tune about her. You know, that's what she used to dance to and act. She was beautiful. She was 60 then. Oh, this bitch was fine, though, man. I'm not lying. Nina Horn didn't have shit on her. And she was crying backstage. You know, I gotta get to Buffalo. I said, who won't pay you? I said, oh, that motherfucker gonna pay me.